Hello, everybody, and welcome to Music Industry Insights Worldwide. Today we have Gaby with us. Hi, Gaby, how are you?
Hi Saskia, nice to meet you. I'm super
Nice
good,
to meet
and you?
Thank you so much for coming along today. Yeah, not too bad. There's been some ups and downs, but I appreciate your patience and your kindness. I really appreciate you coming to share your story with the listeners today. So thank you for your time. Do you want to tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, your artist name, where you come from, and what you do?
Okay, so I'm a singer-songwriter
Yes,
from Costa Rica,
lovely.
and I live at the beach. So it's a whole journey, like making music from the jungle, basically.
That sounds awesome. So you're making loads of music. You're in Colombia. Are you based in Colombia all the time, or do you travel?
No, in Costa Rica.
Oh, in Costa Rica, sorry. So in Costa Rica, do you travel or is all your music based there?
That's where I live,
Yeah.
and I produce music from home.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see, but this is a dome.
Okay.
I'll
No.
show you that. Look
Oh,
at the roof.
oh wow.
So
That's
it's a dome in the middle of the jungle,
yes.
and I produce my music from here.
Okay. So does the nature inspire your music, and what kind of style of music do you do?
100%. My music is mostly inspired in the nature that surrounds me. I'm
Yes.
originally from the city, from San Jose.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up until I turned 24. And
Okay.
then I moved to a global community. It's very secluded at the beach called Nosara. I
Oh,
lived there
wow.
for
Mhm.
7 years,
Yes.
and now I'm in a different beach town.
Oh,
But yes, um,
you've moved around a little.
my sorry?
You've moved around just a little bit around your country.
Yeah, exactly. Uh-huh.
Lovely.
But I've collaborated with many international musicians because beach towns tend to be global communities.
Yes.
So they're like fertile soil for
It's where
for
people.
serendipity,
Yeah.
making international connections and many other crazy things.
Okay. Well, that's great. And tell us a little bit more about how you got into music and did you have a musical education? How did you get into your singing and what kind of spurred you to be an artist actually and songwrite?
Yeah, I believe music in me has been more a condition
Okay.
rather than
Yeah.
like I was born with it
Yes.
rather than entourage.
Yes. Oh, that's
So ever since I learned how to talk,
mhm.
how to speak, I've
Yes.
been singing
Okay.
and I've been whistling.
Oh,
I'm
lovely.
like a I'm like an active whistler. It's funny to say, but it's something that I have always done.
That's beautiful.
And I've always had music in my head since I can remember. There has always been a non-stop
A rhythm.
playlist.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
that's so cool. So tell us, like, what kind of styles do you do? What do you cover? And what does your music actually, represent your artistry?
Yeah, it's very eclectic. I
Yeah.
think the word eclectic would kind of define my genre. I haven't been able to define my genre because it's influenced by so many cultures
Makes sense.
and experiences, sources of, inspiration
Yes.
that I haven't been able to define it.
Okay.
But yeah, for example, my newest single called Psycho Paradise
Yeah.
is uh, is the story of living in a beach town that was Nosara for 7 years,
Yeah.
and what is it like to live in a global community like that in a third world country where people from all around the world
Yeah.
come there to live.
Yeah. Oh wow.
And yeah,
And
sorry.
when is that out? When is that out? Is that music out now? Are you releasing it soon?
It it's out. It was released like a month ago, so that's
Okay.
my latest release.
Okay, thank you so much. And what's the music industry like over there at the moment? How do you find that as well? Being a woman, trying to be in the music industry. What kind of struggles and barriers do you face?
Well, I don't want to mislead you or make a statement,
Yeah,
but I personally don't feel that Costa Rica has a music industry,
right.
or at least I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
I, as I mentioned, I've always had this music in me, but nobody in my family is a musician.
Oh, wow.
I didn't grow up in a community where music was made,
Okay.
and I didn't study music, so I've had to figure it all out on my
Oh,
way.
oh, that's so beautiful.
Even kind, kind of later in
Okay.
time, I've
Yeah.
been figuring things out.
Yeah.
There are musicians in Costa Rica, of course,
Yeah.
but what I've found is that in Costa Rica, there are amazing musicians.
Yeah. Very talented.
Most of them have another job
Oh,
that pays their bills
yeah. 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 And they
so
do
that they can
passion
do
hobby.
this quote unquote
Okay.
music hobby,
I
you
get you.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the main struggle. Like, when you have this condition, quote unquote, and you know that it's your calling to be a
Yeah.
musician,
Yeah. I get you.
it's not for most parents in Costa Rica, that's not like a very reliable career or profession
It's
or
still the
a
same
source
here.
of income.
I think it's still the same here, even in the UK. I think, it's highly competitive. There's people from all around the world that want to be part of that music
Mhm.
industry. So it's very difficult, even in those established countries, to make it. So I can imagine how difficult it must be for you. So if you want to make an income from music, do you have to do international collaborations in order to make that income? How does that work?
So my journey began when I was around 20 years old.
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean my journey in terms of professional singing,
yeah,
meaning being paid to sing, right?
yeah.
So I had like a rock band and we would play gigs, original music, always. It's having a band, I believe most of the times you're putting in more money than you're making,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's a whole thing. But then I started singing covers, especially because I've
Yeah.
been living at the beach for a very long time.
Tourists
So
come.
I was often hired to sing in hotels, bars, different places.
Yeah.
And I did that for around 10 years, sing covers in
Uh,
places that would
yeah,
hire me. I would say that's the easiest way,
right.
or the most reliable way to make money as
Yeah,
a musician
yeah,
playing live.
yeah.
But the last year, actually, or the last, let's count in beginning in 2023, I decided to make a pause
Okay.
because I was a little bit, it was repetitive for me to just show up, sing covers,
Well, this is,
collect the money. And
yeah,
I had so much to say, and I
yeah,
had so many songs that I had written, and I didn't know how to share with the world until I decided to stop singing live, and I was like, I won't sing any more concerts until I have my own music to sing. And
right.
of course, covers are great, but
Yeah,
I wanted to at least mix match, like sing a few songs of other people, sing my own songs as well.
and tell your story through your music.
So yeah, so right now, all this to say that right now, the last 2 years, I've been in a journey of transforming or becoming a recording artist
Okay.
rather than
Right.
jamming in
Right.
bars,
Yeah.
or limited to just.
Yeah.
And I'm learning to produce at home. I'm in a program where I'm coached by Grammy Award winners and top musicians. I've been blessed to find this online community where I get mentoring.
Yeah.
and I'm learning how to produce from home, how to like basics on how to mix,
Yeah.
songwriting, and royalties, everything that you need to know.
Yes.
And I'm orienting my career towards sync
Okay.
and streaming platforms. So that's what I'm up to right now.
Yeah, sync makes sense. I was doing a talk actually with a sync panel last week. I think it's really, really interesting. It's a good way to make an income. I was also going to say to you, obviously, social media is slightly different in South America as well. So you've obviously got more money. I've heard because I know a lot of Brazilian acts and I know a lot of acts in in South America that say to me that the streaming platforms over there actually pay you more than what they do over here in the UK or the US because you've got a bigger market on streaming. Do you think that's the case, or do you not really see that?
That's actually my biggest challenge right now. So, Costa Rica is in Central America. I'm not sure if the rules are the same for the whole Latin America, but I am having a lot of challenges with that because, for example, on Spotify, I get the updates and they're like, so now you can promote your music on Marquee and you can do these countdown pages and you can do this and that. Guess what? None of those features are available in my country.
Right, okay.
And then on TikTok, for example, I am building a fan base on TikTok, but it's been super hard because all of my videos are only shown to people in Costa Rica,
Okay.
which is a tiny, tiny, tiny country.
Absolutely.
And like imagine from like we're like I don't know how many millions, but less than seven, I believe.
Oh, jungle.
And uh, guess how many people are into like that kind of music and into music at all? Like it's a very tiny percentage. So right now I feel like that's my main challenge, like my location and the features that are available here in terms of global platforms for musicians.
Yeah, what about festivals and concerts? Do you have a lot of those? Do you have lots of places where up and coming artists can go and perform?
We have a few.
Yeah.
We have a few. Let's say, for example, there was the Vision Festival, but that is like a niche. That's a lot of como new age, um,
Like
kind
dark.
of it's more for medicine music
Okay.
rather than pop, for example.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We don't have many festivals like, for example, I know there other countries have.
Yeah.
Last year I had the opportunity to go visit one of my best friends. She's the violin player in my single Aldeas en el Aire. She's from Switzerland, and I went to visit her, and it was a lot of fun. And I would see all the scene that she's exposed to in Switzerland, that there is actually like an industry that supports their artists. So for example, just the week that I was there, she got invited to play in this festival called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right because it's Swiss German, but I think it's called Badenfahrt.
Okay.
So the place is called Baden,
Yeah.
and then the whole festival is in most of the festival is in Swiss German. So they have their own festivals, their own musicians, they have their own celebrities. There is an industry there to support their artists that
Okay.
we don't have here. And I think it was super cool to experience that
Okay.
while in Switzerland.
And do you think, obviously, the government in your country would like to see an investment in music, and would they invest in music? Or do they, again, do a lot of people just see it as a hobby, something you do for the tourists, or, just something to do as a creative arts rather than making a business?
Yeah, I think it's a global it's a bigger situation because Costa Rica is a third world country and there is no budget to support sports, to support arts in general.
Yeah,
So
cool.
the same situation that I have, like we have amazing surfers in Costa Rica that also need support, and many people that are highlighted in sports, in art, in theater, like all of this scene is unsupported financially, if that's,
That makes a
yeah.
lot. And also that must cut out a lot of good musicians from being able to get an instrument or being able to, pursue a career as a hobby if they don't have any money. So again, that must be really challenging for some people in your country, right?
Yeah, most of like these people that I'm mentioning, let's say, like renowned surfers or musicians, they like their whole career is self-support,
Right.
self-supported. So basically, either your parents would have to pay for that while you're growing up, or maybe someone got a good sponsorship somehow, but most likely international. So you kind of have to, if you if you're a Costa Rican and you want to make it in a sport or in some kind of art, theater, and music, you kind of have to understand that you most likely have to go to live abroad.
Yeah. And be well off as well and have money in order to do that. That's
I'm
such a
challenging. I'm challenging that statement right now. I'm like,
good
okay,
on you.
nowadays I
Good on
can produce from home. I
Yes.
have a great producer in Canada. His name is Logan Klaus, and we produce remotely. So I record from home. He records also from home. I was recently there to make some music face to face. So nowadays it's possible to do that. Like you can, if you're not able to travel all the time, you can definitely produce remotely with a DAW, but you have to have the right gear. You have to know the know-how.
Yeah.
You have to make a big investment that it is until now that I'm in my 30s that
Well
I
done.
have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Like as a younger musician, I didn't know how to make it happen. I had no idea and I had no money to make
You-
it happen. If you think that the only option was to record in a recording studio and that the session would most likely be like 2K, like on the lower end.
Yeah. So well done for teaching yourself. And obviously, it's not just money, it's also time, isn't it? All of those things have taken you time and patience.
A lot of time, a lot of time. Like right now, I work in a different job. Most of my life, I've had multiple sources of income. So I've been managing businesses. I do marketing. I'm a yoga teacher, also a singer. So I would play somewhere. But yeah, like it has always been like juggling
Yeah, I totally
situation.
understand. I totally understand that.
Even
Yeah.
now, I work like a quarter part-time, and then the rest of the time I'm dedicated to my music.
Good work.
And yeah, it's a big, big, big investment of time and money.
And you've also got to be very consistent as well. So how do you manage to be consistent, keep learning, making new music, social media, going out performing? That's an awful lot. How do you manage to look after yourself, your well-being, your mental health? How does that affect you?
Yeah, it has been also challenging, but right now I've seen that I work better towards deadlines
Same as
and that I'm more accountable. This shouldn't be the case, but I'm more accountable when there are other people involved in the project than just me, because I've been my own boss
you
for
care
the
about them.
last 8 years.
Yeah.
And then it's easy for me to be like, oh, yeah, I want to make this song, but the waves are so good, so I'm gonna go surfing. But what I do is I collaborate a lot with international musicians and I set deadlines with them. And I always show up for my deadline with them. And then I know that if I am due tomorrow with a song, I have to have it for you, regardless of the waves.
That's really
And also, I've gotten myself into different international programs of music. One is called Breakthrough by the Billboard 500 Club. So that one is led by Adam McInnes. He's in a band called Sons of Legion. It's basically musicians from all around the world collaborating and coaching calls with these Grammy Award winners. And also, I mean, another one called The Art of the Song Pitch with Chris.
okay.
And that one is all about like sync songwriting. So yeah, if anyone is curious about those programs, I'm happy to give you some insights. But these two programs have helped me stay accountable and show up and have a lesson that I have to show up for and homeworks and pitch sessions with music supervisors. So that keeps me accountable of my own goals, if you know what I mean.
Course. And obviously, for people that don't understand what sync is, that's placing your music on trailers, on adverts, and on films for television,
Yes.
isn't it?
So
So,
basically, sync is whenever the music is synchronized with the image.
yeah,
So it's music for video games, ads, TV shows, movies,
and
and yeah, that's an industry by itself.
yeah, so when you're writing those songs, it's not the same as writing a normal song that you would put on an album, for example. You'd write that slightly differently.
Yes and no. Like it depends on the project. It depends on the opportunity. Nowadays, music supervisors, they really like supporting independent artists.
Okay.
Also, also like your most personal song could be a great song for sync if you happen to find the right opportunity and the right scene for the right project. So that could happen. But also, if you are writing for sync and you're building like a music catalog that you can later pitch for different sync projects, then yes, you have to write in a more broad way like
Not so personal.
universal
Right, okay.
universal topics.
Yeah.
So it's easier to place a song that is about the power of nature, for example, than if I'm like, so I'm in Costa Rica watching the sunset, because then that
Very
lyrics took
specific.
the person out of the scene if they're not in Costa Rica, for example,
Makes sense. Yeah,
right?
yeah, got you. I've got you. And also, do you want to talk a little bit more about pitching? Because I think that's really, really important as well. So when you want to get your music placed on one of these sync placements, just like it is for like a playlist, I guess, you have to pitch that to certain people, don't you? Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so if I understand the question correctly, you basically build a music catalog and then you can start pitching these songs to music supervisors that they have projects in sync, let's say TV shows, movies, ads, etc. You kind of have to network for that. You have to build a relationship with these music supervisors because they can receive 300 emails per hour easily.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to work on those connections and find someone to introduce you to them, etc. And then you can start pitching your music, or maybe you can find a library where that music is pitched or an agent. And then if your music gets placement, then you get a sync fee
Okay. Yeah.
plus the royalties
Yeah.
of that song being placed
Brilliant.
in that, project.
Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. Well, that sounds like a decent income as well, like a stable, steady income that you could keep going with. rather than having a song and then not making any money from?
I believe it is. I'm just beginning in this industry. I actually began this year and I did a whole training on that because it's not like you just go for it. There are things that you have to understand for in terms of split sheets. How do you like make it clearable, because the music supervisor needs to know that they can clear this song. For example, if they pitch your song to the director of the movie and the director of the movie is like, oh, I love this song, this is amazing, and then they come back to you and it's like, hey Gabby, congrats, your music was loved by everybody, and then I'm like, oh wait, I don't know if my producer is gonna want to sign this because I don't know if the fee is right, and I can't reach my guitar player because he's doing ayahuasca in Peru. That's like the last time they're going to want to work with you. So you have to have your documents like bottom up. You have to probably have like a one-stop agreement. Everything has to be in place so that if you get the opportunity, you're like, okay, where should I sign? Let's do this.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. So obviously in where you are in Costa Rica, how do you find the diversity of men and women in music? Do you think women are equal to men in music, or do you still think men are quite more dominant than women are and given more opportunities?
That's an interesting question. I would say that um, singers, like female musicians,
Mhm.
tend more towards singing,
Okay.
and um, guitar players or people that are like um, that they have mastered an instrument like electric guitar or bass, they tend to be more
Interesting.
male. I know, of course, there are exceptions to the rules. Like, I know amazing female guitar players, but yes, I've seen that normally I normally hire a guitar player for my concerts because I play some guitar, but it's not good enough for me to sing while I play guitar the whole gig. So normally I have a guitar player and they have all been male guitar players.
Right. It's very interesting,
And
actually.
then I feel like guys sometimes they they haven't mastered the singing part all the way.
Okay.
Sometimes it's mostly like a percentage thing, like if you compare the percentage of female singers versus female versus male singers, you're going to have more female singers. There are amazing male singers here,
Yeah.
but I've seen more of that
Yeah.
um, ratio that I'm talking about.
Because we still don't have as many women singers here than we do men. I think it's 1 out of 5. Every 1 out of 5 artists signed to a label is a woman. So every 5 artists, 4 of them are men, one of them's a woman. So yeah, there's still quite a lot of underrepresentation for women as they move up the career ladder. At the bottom of the ladder, it's quite balanced and equal, but as you're moving up the scale, it's not as much for some reason. We don't have as many women that succeed as men. So that's really, really interesting. Thank you.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is why I like talking to other people because, when I'm talking to different people in different countries, it's very fascinating to find out what is it like over there because I'm not there. So it's really great to see the insights and hear how interesting and different places are. So thank you so much. And do you want to tell us a little bit more about your wins and successes that you've had in your musical career so far?
So, to be honest, right now, my biggest win is that I'm making music that I really like. And I am like, sometimes it's good that my whole music catalog is self-sponsored because I get to do whatever I want. I
And
love to include surprises in my
yeah,
songs. Like I include weird things. I include whispers, and sometimes I'm singing in English and all of a sudden I want to say a phrase in Spanish and I go for it.
yeah,
There is a song that is called Hey Flower, and then all of a sudden I invented these voices for the flowers that are like super high pitch, and there's a phrase that the flowers say. So I like to include weird things like that.
yeah.
I would say that that is my biggest win, the fact that I am actually super free and unapologetic about the music that I'm releasing.
Love
I
that.
have music in Spanish, I have music in English. I recently made one in French. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to explain to anyone why. I just do whatever
Wow,
inspiration comes to me and I put it out to the world. And it's so liberating to be in power
free.
in that way of my own music. And I think industry wise, my biggest win so far is that this month, actually, I'm having a lot of one-on-one live pitch sessions with music supervisors that are in charge of super cool TV shows that I would have never dreamed to be able to be in front of. And I'm submitting my music to them. And I am I'm super excited. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the outcome,
Oh, that'd be
but when you do something with passion and detached from the outcome, it's already a win for me to be able to pitch my music and receive feedback from them and know how to be better. And I was recently in Canada with my favorite producer and friend and another musician, and it was so amazing. It was one of the best weeks of my life. We were just there for a week. Like we barely ate, we barely slept. We
wow.
were only making music 24/7,
That
but
sounds
we were stoked.
yeah. Oh, well done.
So to summarize the answer, I think my biggest win is the connections that I've made through music,
Yeah.
the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had, because there's something that connects you with other people that also have this passion. Yesterday, I was talking to a friend about this, and I was like, so why do we do this? Like we just put in time, put in effort, we invest money, we just master our craft, we just like are committed, we stop eating, we stop sleeping to make this music. Like what kind of engine is moving us to do all of this
The medicine.
regardless of the result?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I totally agree with you. It's so lovely to hear that. Thank you for sharing it. And if the fans want to find out a little bit more about your music, they want to connect with you, they might want to collaborate or find out more about what you do and where you're from, how could they do that?
Yes, so I have the same name in all platforms.
Yeah.
So it's Gaby, Gaby, Barzuna, that is my last name, Barzuna, Gaby Barzuna, any platform like Spotify, iTunes Music,
I'll leave a
Instagram.
leave the link in the description below so people can find that and connect with you. Thank you again
Amazing.
for sharing your story, your passion, your bubbly personality with us. I've really enjoyed talking to you. I'm not going to lie, I'm jealous. You're over in Costa Rica and I'm in raining old London at the moment, and it's not very nice. But I really do wish you all the best with your work, with your projects coming up. And thank you again for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you so much. It was so nice meeting you as well. And thank you for giving me the space to share all of this, you know, personal stories and intentions and inspiration.
Thank you so much. Thank you.